Welcome back, my friends. It is May 19th, 2019, 6:25 p.m. All right, we're going to get right to the point here. The National Weather Service is calling for a very severe situation taking place in the central part of America. That would be including northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and then in turn Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, and then we're going to get into Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then Mississippi. This is going to be more than likely one of the bigger tornado events we've seen thus far this season. We still are semi-early in the season, but they're showing some pretty interesting information on these websites that are leading me to believe, and according to the data, leading me to believe that we have certainly a lot to look out for. Strong, long-track tornadoes possible Monday. What they mean by that are tornadoes that last a long time. Those long chasers, perfect for storm chasers. They're going to be all over the place. In fact, there's a website where you can actually follow them. I will try to throw that down in the info box. Now, I want to read a little bit of stats to you as far as the tornado strength that we've seen in the past and what we've seen so far this year. This has to do with the EF5 rating of tornadoes, which is the highest that we have right now. There was some talk about adding an EF6 to the list. I'm not sure that that's going to happen this year. We don't know. If they didn't do it after the Moore, Oklahoma outbreak, where we had an Ef5 tornado, I don't know what will, but this is what they're saying, guys. This is an article posted today. Very few tornadoes have been given the most violent EF5/F5 rating since 1950. We've had 59 EF5 tornadoes since 1950, guys. That's about one F5 tornado per year, give or take. With that 59 in there, that extra 9, that would be due to outbreaks. Now, I have another article to show you to back that up. The last EF5 tornado in the U.S. was almost 6 years ago in Moore, Oklahoma. Many of us remember that devastating tornado that just decimated that area, changed lives forever. It's been 6 years this Monday, guys. This is the anniversary tomorrow will be since that tornado took place, with this warning being issued basically Monday, May 20th through Wednesday. We're going to be seeing these things. Let's get on with this. EF5 tornado struck the United States, occurring in Moore, Oklahoma on May 20th, 2013. Not to mention that was my birthday, so I was actually doing this on my birthday in 2013 on my other channel. This is the second longest streak without an EF5 tornado since records began in 1950. It is just the second time dating to 1950 the U.S. has gone 5 years or longer with no twisters rated EF5 to F5. We did have an EF4 recently. Now take a look at this chart. This one actually shows you 1950 to 2018, where the outbreaks took place, what month, and how many there were. This goes back all the way, it looks like, to 1954. I'm assuming this would be 1950 here. We had quite an outbreak in 1950 with 5 EF5 tornadoes. In April of 1974, there was a super outbreak of 7 F5 tornadoes. Unbelievable number there. I'm skipping over some outbreaks that were even more devastating than some of these, but just look at this. 7 EF5 tornadoes in April of 1974, and then we all remember the 2011 outbreak. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos out there of storm chasers and video of these actual tornadoes that took place in 2011. And then in Moore, Oklahoma, May 20th, 2013, we had that EF5 devastate that area, and since then we have not hit that number yet. We hit one EF4. I'm not exactly sure when that is. It actually might be in one of these charts I'm showing you, but again, this is to warn the people of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, and the entire central U.S. is expecting some type of this. We're not calling for EF5 tornadoes. The National Weather Service is saying that the possibility is there. We have not seen this type of energy this season yet. This is why I'm reporting this to you, and this is why I'm reading you these stats. I know sometimes the text can get a little boring, but it's very important, guys, to understand this stuff. The record long time without such an intense tornado is an 8-year period from May 3rd, 1999. That was the Moore Bridge Creek, Oklahoma tornado to May 4th, 2007, Greensburg, Kansas. So there was a giant gap back then, and since then, this has been the longest gap. Tornadoes assigned an EF5 or an F5 rating have historically been rare, but when they do strike, the damage is in the affected communities. It's devastating. Hands down, when you have an F5 tornado, even storm chasers avoid these types of tornadoes unless they can get a safe shot from far back. Really quick here on our COD weather chart, I want to show you what we are currently looking at. In fact, last night, guys, after the live stream, I had Tornado HQ on, and take a look at this. Pennsylvania, New York, New York, New York, Pennsylvania, all had storms that I slept right through with tornado producing capabilities. Now, I don't think anything touched the ground. The last one expired about an hour ago in Lebanon, PA. That's not too far from me. At 5:36 p.m. Eastern Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near the town Tower City, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. This has expired, thank God, but when you look at the chart again, you could see we have this bubble moving into northeast PA, so I'm keeping a close eye out my window as we speak, but this is not about the northeast right now. We are talking about what's about to happen in Texas and these states I just mentioned in central U.S. and the Gulf areas as well. Taking a look at tropical tidbits, we can back up to basically the first couple hours of tomorrow. I could back up to yesterday and get a little more data, but all that matters right now is what we want to talk about as far as Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And you're going to see this low pressure system that we did mention last night in the live stream dipping down, and it's going to hit this energy. Guys, there's an energy called Cape energy. It's right here. You can go on to Vent2 Sky and you can look it up. And when you see these colors and these numbers, 3400 J/kg, that is a superb amount of energy, atmospheric disturbances. In fact, I pulled up a definition for you guys, for those of you that don't understand exactly what this Cape means. Cape is effectively the positive buoyancy of an air parcel and is an indicator of atmospheric instability, which makes it vulnerable to predicting severe weather. So when you go to Vent2 Sky and you see something like this, and you go to the National Weather Service websites and you see something like this and these colors of purple, and then you start seeing them talking about the possibilities of EF5 tornadoes and going back in time and talking about them, that's enough for me to get on here and start talking about it with you guys. Now, like I said, this is going to be a Monday through Wednesday event. We can clearly see that on Tropical Tidbits. 3 days into the future is not something that is bad to do. In fact, this chart's been pretty accurate lately, but if I go slow here, we can see the beginning, or about 12 hours into May 20th is when we really want to start watching northern Texas and central Texas as well. But when we get into late May 20th and early May 21st, that is when things are going to start to heat up, and that is where I have Vent2 Sky set right here. Once again, we constantly talk about this flow coming in from the Gulf and then up into the central U.S. It'll either bend towards the northeast. It could go straight up. It's all depending on the jet stream. We do have a counterclockwise spin up by the Canadian border in Minnesota, where it is still cold. Frost advisories, you name it, up in that area. But then we have 80s and 90s right now in the northeast. It was so hot out today, and it's beginning to cool down because of those storms. But staying on topic here, Tornado HQ, we did check that out actually. Now back to tropical tidbits, we can kind of see where these highlighted areas are going to be. Look, I want you to focus on this low pressure system here, 982. Let's back up to where we could see the highest number it's at. Right there, 993 on Tuesday, May 21st. Then we have a pretty decent drop in that pressure all the way down to 981 by the end or beginning of Wednesday. Now look at the lines around the L here, the low pressure system. The tighter the lines, the higher the wind speed, the more energy in these storms, and you can see why this is all getting pulled up from the Gulf, just like we showed on Vent2 Sky, right up through Houston, all these major cities along Texas, Louisiana, and then, like I said, this could be all the way up into Illinois, Ohio. It kind of looks like it's going to be overshadowing, or not overshadowing, but kind of bypassing the southeast, which is a good thing. We have a whole nother situation going on in the southeast, which I will talk about briefly, but this is an eye catcher right here, guys. We need to keep our friends in central U.S. aware of this. I know we've been having a lot of storms coming down along the coast here of southern Texas, southern Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, major flooding going on in the Mississippi River. This is not going to help, guys, and this is the point I've been trying to make over the last couple weeks, that this is not going to end anytime soon. We are still early in tornado season. I could zoom in here more, and you could see some of these numbers jumping to 4,000. This is a high energy situation we're talking about, and I have moved this to Wednesday. When you go to the 21st, you could see it's between the 20th and the 21st that we're going to see that begin. So we can even go back to the 19th right now. We got that energy built up by San Antonio and Houston, so the potential for storms there is high. We do have that possibility, but according to our chart here, this is the system that's currently moving into Texas. Northern Texas is starting to begin to get that rain, and then once that energy builds up and that upflow from the Gulf hits and it mixes with this situation going on in Louisiana, your guess is as good as mine, but we need to be aware of this, guys, and you need to have a plan. You need to have an understanding of how powerful some of these tornadoes can get, how they switch directions so quickly, and the fact that we have so many more people out there now, especially on YouTube and other social media platforms, that like to go storm chasing. I'm not against it in any way. I'm just saying please be safe. I will not be out here chasing these storms because I am just not experienced enough to really know the movements of these things. I'm good with charts, I'm good with data, and I'm getting better with speaking in a public forum, I would say. But just take a look at this, guys. Once again, we got to repeat and talk about this and understand what is really happening. May 20th. May 21st, we start seeing Oklahoma under severe weather. This could easily be tornado-making material here. Now we're talking about we got Texas, Oklahoma, we got Kansas now, and then this is going to move into Missouri, and then down here, Arkansas, Louisiana. This is all going to be covered in severe weather due to this low pressure system that is going to just completely whip across the central part of the U.S., eventually throwing its tail up towards the Great Lakes, as you can see there, by the end of Wednesday. So this is a 48-hour, maybe give or take 50-hour situation we're going to be looking at. It could be possibly 3 days, 72 hours. Let's even just be more safe and say over the next 72 hours, these people need to be on alert. And it's very important because these charts are all matching up very they're agreeing. Let's just say that they're agreeing that this is going to be one of the bigger situations we see this season. Even though that's hard to predict, we could see one stronger a week from now based on what's been going on with the U.S. weather, guys. It's been absolutely insane. I do want to talk about this a little bit in a live stream later on tonight. We'll see if we can get that going. But guys, this is very, very important. When you start seeing articles like this, and they're talking about all the EF5 tornado stats, and you get stuff like this. This is every single EF5 tornado since 1950 pinpointed on the U.S. map. I did use this graphic on the thumbnail to show you guys. You can see right here, each red triangle is the location of a tornado that caused an EF5 or F5 damage. A total of 59 tornadoes have been rated this intensity since 1950, and I believe they talk about the EF4 here that we had. Yes, here we go. Although tornadoes of any intensity can be deadly, higher-end twisters have historically killed a larger percentage of people. That is horrible. About half a dozen deaths from 2000 through 2013 were from tornadoes rated EF4 or EF5. That would include that tornado we just spoke about, Moore County, Oklahoma, according to the data from Dr. Greg Forbes of the Weather Channel. So here we go. Just look at the percentage and the rise over the years. 2000 to 2013, EF4 has jumped up 51%. Even before that, 31.7%. That was a big deal. No joke, that was just a flicker from a storm that is about to hit me. So I'm going to try to get this video out to you as soon as possible and maybe film some stuff. On March 3rd, 2019, an EF4 struck Lee County, Alabama. So the point I'm trying to make here, without making this too long, guys, is these things can pop up at any region on basically cut Texas, West Texas in half, going straight up anywhere to the east is very possible. And like I said, we got something rolling into northeastern Pennsylvania right now as we speak. So I'm going to try to cut this a little short. But once again, I want you guys to look at this energy. If you have to go to Ventu Sky yourselves, select the Cape here, this tag right here, and you will see the energy and where they're expecting it to go. If you live in any of these areas, you need to be on high alert for this system over the next 3 days, guys. Please, it's very, very important. Last but not least, here is a look at that 40% chance of cyclone formation in the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know why it just did that. Let me scroll back up. That actually might be my internet going out. But you saw it there. That was the graphic we were just looking at. In fact, yeah, I could pull that back up later. But the county-by-county chart is already predicting a lot of flooding and flash flooding in these exact areas that I just spoke about. Over the next 3 days. This could be starting as early as midnight tonight, early morning hours of Monday, May 20th. We do have a system that is moving in right behind that, guys. And then, like I said, Missouri, Montana, or yes, Missouri. We got North Dakota, South Dakota, half in flood territory, half in freeze warnings. Guys, we have everything going on at once right now. So I want to get this out to you as soon as possible. BP Earthwatch put out a great video explaining the I hope he doesn't mind me showing this. I'm not going to play any of the video, but I owe this guy a lot of gratitude for the growth of my channel in the past. I've not been talking to him recently, but he explains very well in this video here, if you want to check his channel, about this invest that's right to the west of Florida. Now, the chances of this thing hitting land anywhere near the U.S. is very, very low. In fact, the reason I wanted to show you this chart that is not working for some reason now out of nowhere is because it is a 40% chance of cyclone formation, but it is clearly curving out into the ocean. And that has to do directly with what we're seeing with this system rolling through Texas and then being pushed up by the Gulf. This is going to be the force that pushes that invest back out into the Atlantic. So with that said, guys, I got to cut this short. I just lost power. Unbelievable. All right, guys, have a great evening. I will be back as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.